Hello and welcome to Culture here on I-24 News. I'm Oded Grover. Thank you for joining me. Today on our show, we'll talk to the creators of a new contemporary circus show. We'll hear the sounds of the Klezmer Festival in Zafed. And see today's top Broadway musicals. Orit Nevo is an Israeli contemporary circus creator. She founded the Binyamina Circus and the ON Contemporary Circus Center. Florian Meho is a circus artist, acrobat, and clown who's been performing for many years. And together, they are premiering their new show this week, Francois, at the Bat Yam International Theater Festival. I'm very happy to have them both here in the studio. Thanks for coming in, Orit, Francois.
Thank you.
So tell me about this new show, Francois. Who is Francois?
That's Francois.
Me.
And Francois actually is living in the street. It's a character that was born in a show, in the previous show that we made, and since then he was fired and lost his job. And
I'm so sorry.
So now he's living in the street, and
Yes.
yeah, and you can see him there.
Yeah,
and
he's not having an easy time in the street.
No, his life is very complicated, and he tries to keep up with the news in the world to make sure that the world still turns around. And the thing is that there's the Bat Yam Street Theater Festival going on around him, and suddenly he has an audience, and his private space becomes a public space. Well, his private space that was already a public space becomes more public.
Even more public, right.
Even more public, and the show is about how he deals with that issue.
Now this, I guess, wow, that was scary. This is what you might call contemporary circus, right?
Yes.
What does that mean, really?
Well, in what sense is it different from example, the circus we know?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of there's a story. First of all, there are characters. There's a written show. The show is there's writing.
Right.
There's writing. There's a script.
It's not just elephant walks in.
No, and it's not numbers that only perform technical virtuosity.
Okay.
There's something goes beyond the virtuosity,
There's
the
a
technical
deeper
virtuosity.
meaning.
Yeah. There's the circus that we do has something to say, and mostly when we work, we've been working together for 4 years now. It's our fourth creation together. So basically, we have something to say about the human condition, and which is really interesting here in Israel and in our region. So we have a lot to say.
Right.
And
now, you both created the show together, but Florian, you're the only one on stage, right? You're the performer here. How does that feel for you? Is it it comes naturally to go on stage and be the sole performer alone?
C'était le seul artiste sur scène. Ça te
Oui,
va
c'est un
bien,
solo. It's a solo for me, but yes, it's good for me. Yes, I like to make the practice for the new creation alone. Yes.
It seems like you're doing a hell of a job at it, I have to say. For both of you, I guess, why the circus? How did you get to become circus artists?
For me, it's because you can make the mix of the circus, but with the contemporary circus, you can make video, actor, you can make dance, you can make what do you want in the contemporary circus.
Right, you can pretty much take on any subject with this.
Yes,
sort
any
of
subject, and you can mix it with other medias. So, for example, in most of our companies, and the Contemporary Circus company, we have six artists altogether. So 5 more, except for Florian, and we use video a lot of video art.
And interaction with what's happening with the video. Right,
and the structures where we have video screens in different, this, for example, that's part of our, you see these squares. And that's a show about immigration, for example, about the problem of immigration. So.
Now, you started the Binyamina Circus, if I'm not mistaken, 14 years ago, give or take? 15 years ago. And it was after the Second Intifada.
It was during the Second Intifada, actually.
And there was, you were hoping to bring peace with an endeavor like that, or at least bring some positivity.
I still believe in a very modest way that circus can change the world.
It's just happening a little slower than you hope.
Yeah, but it gives me some more time to investigate, to research into
so
it,
how
and to
can
create.
it change the world?
Well, the thing about circus is that the disciplines in circus, you use very basic human emotions. So you take risks, you confront your fears. So, for example, in the time of the Intifada, the idea was that if you take kids, Israeli kids, Palestinian kids, and you teach them at the age of 8 to go on the trapeze and confront their fears in a creative way, then when they grow up, they would have another way to confront each other. So that was the basic idea of the Binyamina circus for me. That was why I said, okay, in time of an Intifada, the only thing I can do for my country is establish a circus.
Now, it is something that we don't really have here. There isn't a circus tradition in Israel.
Well, we do, because since 15 years, a lot of things happen. So we are still a baby circus country. But many things happen. So, for example, 5 years ago, there was a circus festival established in Modi'in. The Bat Yam Street Theater Festival is one of the, and it's now the 18th edition, I think, has always been programming circus. So there was always somewhere where you could program circus.
So it is on the rise? You see more and more
There's a circus school in Yakum, there's in Shemer, there's many, lots of artists' companies, the Moetzet HaPais, the Pais Lottery Council for Culture and Arts, they put up an appeal for financing new creations of contemporary circus. So there's, and the Bat Yam municipality, for example, to us, they gave to the On Center a space within the Fest Factory, which is part of the concept of the new Bat Yam festival that Amitai Eish Ben Ozilio established, so that the festival is present in the city all during the year. And so we're there since a year now.
So we're definitely going to make an effort to be there as well and see the show. Florian, Orit, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Merci.
Now, klezmer music is one of the arts most recognized with European Jewry. For the past 28 years, the city of Safed in Israel has been hosting a festival dedicated to preserving and celebrating klezmer music, both traditional and modern. Leonor Jory and Benjamin Lassuef were there to bring us these sounds.
As Safed is still quiet, a few tunes begin to be heard throughout the city's streets. Every year, right in the middle of the month of August, this quiet city of northern Israel welcomes the Klezmer Festival. For the last 28 years, this Jewish music, which originated in Eastern Europe, has been celebrated by hundreds of artists from Israel and from all over the world. Before this event became so popularly renowned, it was only followed by a few klezmer aficionados who used to meet here and share their common passion. Spontaneous street concerts and a few intrigued guests. That's what it was all about then. Today, however, 5 large stages have been established in various places of the city. The best artists have been picked up and invited to participate. The waiting list remains impressive. For the artistic director of this festival, klezmer music ought to preserve its Jewish roots while opening up to other cultures.
And there's some magical thing in the air that attracts people, religions, non-religion people, Jews, non-Jews, Christian, Muslims. Improvise, freedom to feel, freedom to love, freedom to create in the streets, under the sky, with the klezmer music. And this is exactly what is so special about this festival.
Today, the Klezmer Festival excels the true spirit of openness. When klezmer meets other cultures, it unavoidably opens up to new musical styles.
We have to move. We have to create. We cannot stay static. So if 28 years ago it was only East European, today we have East European, which is the original klezmer, but we have jazz and klezmer, rock bands with klezmer, modern music with klezmer, Israeli and klezmer. We have cigarillos and strudel. We have salsa.
Klezmer meeting salsa, that is exactly what David had imagined. This former salsa dance teacher who had been listening to Jewish music since childhood decided to establish a band that would mix both.
I used to dance salsa, so at some point I also started playing salsa music, and I put in it whatever was relevant to me, whatever belonged to my intimate life, to my childhood, to my own culture. And that is klezmer music. In fact, I was playing salsa, but with rhythmics that were relevant to me, that were my own. And I started playing klezmer music, but with a totally different vibe.
Varied and colorful sounds resounding throughout a historic city. That is no doubt a cocktail that appeals to local and foreign spectators.
That's fun and pleasant, with a nip of mysticism, a squeeze of art, and a pinch of popular atmosphere. It's really fun. You don't see any of that anywhere else. Usually you can find the artistic side or the mystic one, but seldom both of them mixed together, like here.
Either true music authorities or simply fans, thousands of people attend the almost 100 planned concerts. With a wider musical program and a larger audience, Klezmer Festival has met its challenge when it opened up and decided to mix tradition with modernity.
In a moment, we'll hear what musicals are hot on Broadway right now, but first, here's our cultural recommendation for today.
If in Western culture, art has a fundamental narrative role, the 20th century has come to eliminate this function, particularly with the introduction of the abstract art movement. But the 1990s came to restore that role. The last decade of the 20th century re-established the narrative in art, and it is precisely this resurrection that the exhibit's storyline is trying to show. More than 100 works from the permanent collection of New York's Guggenheim Museum, artwork that tells stories, both fictitious and real. Installations, paintings, photos, sculptures, and video art tell and retell. In the age of social networks and the hypermedia coverage of the self, this art more than ever generates, transmits, and delivers a narrative that makes sense.
And now Lauren Izo is joining me with a dance and song routine. Take it away.
You wish I was going to dance and sing right now, but you're welcome to if you'd like.
Maybe. You'll get me in the mood and we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll see. So as you know, I'm quite the theater buff, but something something that has a really special place in my heart is musical theater. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown on what's hot on Broadway right now in terms of musicals. So there is a new musical called Hamilton.
Okay.
It opened about a little less than a month ago, and ticket sales are just soaring. It's insane. It's already one of the most successful Broadway productions. It's grossing $1.3 million per week, this show.
Wow. What's its appeal?
So the show is based on the life of Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers of the United States of America.
Yeah.
But the catch here is that the show is actually hip-hop and rap. Like, think Sondheim's Les Mis, starring Jay-Z. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
We gon' rise up, time to take a shot. We gon' rise up, time to take a shot. We gon' rise up, rise up. It's time to take a shot. Rise up, rise up. It's time to take a shot. Rise up. It's time to take a shot. Rise up. Take a shot. It's time to take a shot. Take a shot.
So it's pretty catchy,
it's
right?
Something we haven't seen before.
Definitely, and
that's for sure. You know, it is something new.
Right. It's been, as I said, been really successful. Actually, Barack and Michelle Obama are huge fans of the show. Lots of celebrities are filling the seats in the audience. The show was written by a Puerto Rican man named Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's also the star of the show.
Cool.
Which is really interesting. He's
That's
super
great.
talented. The three female leads, they were reviewed as saying they're like Destiny's Child, but each actress breaks out to be Beyonce. So it's definitely, it's got some soul.
Apparently there's such a thing as too good. All right, what else do you have?
All right, so it's always exciting when a good movie that we love becomes a musical on Broadway. I'm not sure if you're familiar with School of Rock with Jack Black, one of the best movies.
Of course.
It came out in 2003.
It's got kids, it's got Jack Black, it's got music.
It's got everything you need. So it's become a Broadway musical.
That's a good adaptation. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. So I'm sure you'd rather see her sing than me.
I don't know. I haven't heard you sing them, but she can carry it.
So the show is starring Alex Brightman. It's his first big Broadway role, which is really, really exciting for him. And the most interesting thing is that a lot of the music is from the show, but the music that's not actually comes from Andrew Lloyd Webber, who's famous for Phantom of the Opera and Cats and lots of
Doesn't get any
great
better
shows.
than that.
Yes.
And cute kids, always nice to see. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thank you at home for watching us. We'll be back tomorrow with another show, so please join us again.